Hey guys, I hope you're doing well. To my FCA family, I just have a word of encouragement, a short devotion I'd like to share with you. Some of my favorite stories come from the Old Testament, and one of those is Moses. Now, if you've grown up in the church or you've read the Bible at all, you've probably heard the name Moses. Maybe you watched a Disney movie, I don't know. But in Exodus, it shares the story of Moses and how he was born to the family he was born into, and then him fleeing to him coming back to tell Pharaoh, let my people go. You kind of know where I'm going with that. But Exodus 3 mentions something about God that I think carries through God's character into even our world today. I don't know about you, but man, in the midst of the virus stuff and our schedules being readjusted, sometimes we could use some hope. And I don't know about you, but maybe you wondered, is God even paying attention to what's going on? I mean, we're seeing sick people, we're seeing people die from things. Again, the confusion it caused, but listen to what God tells Moses. And I want to just drop in the middle into a story here, but I want you to remember Moses, he had fled from Pharaoh and the family there. He's living in a different place. He comes across this burning bush that it says was burned but not consumed. And God speaks to Moses through this bush. There's this whole thing that says, this is holy ground you're standing on. So Moses understands it's God speaking to him. And this is what God says in Exodus chapter 3, verse 7. He says, then the Lord said, I have surely seen the affliction of my people who are in Egypt, and they have heard have heard their cry because they're taskmasters. I know their sufferings, and I have come down to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptians and bring them up out of the land to a good and broad land, a land flowing of milk and honey. And then he goes on, he mentions the names of some other tribes. But what I want you to grasp from there is God noticed what was taking place with his people. He says, I've heard their cries, I've seen their afflictions, and Moses, I'm going to do something about it. I don't know why we're in the time we're in, or why we have to deal with the sickness and all the consequences that come with that and all the precautions we're having to take. I get some of them I don't understand, but I'm just abiding just like you guys. But I do know this, that none of this has caught our Lord off guard. That God is watching what's taking place. He hears our cries, he hears our hearts, he sees our afflictions, and he's going to do something about it. Hopefully he's already doing things about it, we haven't seen it, right? I want you to take today, I want you to thank God for his goodness and just where you are. I read in my quiet time this morning out of the Lamentations, and it says that God's mercies are new every morning, that there's hope in God. And I pray you'd find that same hope. I hope you have a wonderful day as you do your school and all that. God bless, and we'll see you next time.